Hi, this is Richard C. I'm a math tutor at Wyzant and answering this question submitted by a student. This is a calculus question. I'm going to just rewrite this so that you can see it better. When it got cut and pasted, it came out a little weird. So this is 4x raised to a power, and it's the 3x minus 1 power. And you cannot use the power rule here because the power rule only works when the power is some sort of number. Usually it's an integer, sometimes it's a fraction, but you can't have a variable up here. So power rule is not going to work for you. So let's just rework this. I'm going to write this as y. I'm just going to set y equal to f of x, which is a traditional thing to do. And so I'm just going to copy it down here. 4x, 3x minus 1. So the nice thing about the log is we can take the log of both sides and we can deal with this in a different way. So we'll take the natural log of y is equal to 3x minus 1 times, well, the log of a power. I don't know if you remember. Let me just rewrite, just show you all the steps here so you don't get confused. So then I'm going to take the log of both sides. So we'll just take the log of this thing, 4x raised to the 3x minus 1 power. But the log, we're using the log of a to the b is just equal to b times the log of a. This is one of the properties of logarithms. This goes back to algebra 2. So I can write this is equal to 3x minus 1 times the log of 4x. And that's just coming from that property. Okay, now we can differentiate both sides. So we're going to just take the derivative of both sides of, once again, I'm just showing you each step so you don't get confused. Most people would skip these steps. Okay, so this is going to be this is just 1 over y dy dx. I'm going to write this as y prime over y. And then on this side, we're just going to use product rule. So it's the first times the derivative of the second. Derivative of the second is just going to be 1 over 4 minus x. I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. That's just log of 4x. Sorry. It's going to be 1 over 4x times 4. So we're going to have that. So that's the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first, which is just 3. Okay, now we're going to replace y with what it is here. That's the last step. Let's clean this up a little bit before we do that. So this gets simplified to 3x minus 1 over x, because the 4's cancel. And then this is just going to be multiplied times 3 log 4x. Put a bracket there. And then our last step, I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to go over here. So y prime, which is what we want, which is, you can write it as f prime of x, which is what the question asks for, is just going to be y times this business. Now y itself is 4x to the 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1 over x times 3 log 4x. Well, it's kind of messy, but that's the answer. So if you wanted to find the slope of the tangent line at some particular point x, you would plug the value for x into this whole thing, and it would give you the slope of the tangent line, which is usually the next step. But the teacher here, or the problem here, is just allowing us to just stop here, just giving them they just want the expression of f prime of x here. Okay, so that's it. It's a very clever way of dealing with powers. It's also a very clever way of dealing with fractions. You can use the quotient rule, but this is another way of dealing with complicated quotients. So it's just clever. Okay, that's it. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.